Justin Matthews, one of the development officers with the New South Wales Department of Primary Industries Farms of the Future program. Throughout these series of videos of these ag tech tips, we're going to be taking you through a couple of little simple ways that you can produce documents relating to your monitoring plan. And today we're going to focus on how to export a map out of Google Earth Pro so that you can attach that to your Canvas profile for submission to your development officer team for review. It's a really simple process. All you need to do is load up Google Earth Pro from your desktop. In fact, I've got it here right now. It's just open up. We'll just close out this dialog. And to get set up, all we want to do is just get to a spot where we've got a nice clean view of our farm. Now, don't worry if you've got a lot of sensors or things like assets that are cluttering up your view, like down here. What you can do with that is we can repeat these steps in a second map for a closer up view. But for now, we're just going to focus on our whole property overview. So once we've got our farm nice and centered in our view here, we're going to come up here to the top to the printer icon. Now, this little icon up here in the top toolbar, if we just click it, it's going to load up our print view. You'll notice our view changes ever so slightly where the screen crops in a little bit. We get this untitled map and a legend here. What we're going to do is start by editing our untitled map. So for this, we're going to give it our farm name. So we'll pop our farm name in here. And then for the description, I'd probably encourage you to put in your physical address for the farm. So 123 address road, Heresville, NSW. Obviously, you'll put your relevant details in there for your farm, including the postcode as well for where that farm is based. Now, a common question we've had asked is how do we put a legend on here? And with this feature, you can see the legend is automatically populated for you. You can edit that legend and you can just show what items you wish to display. Now, for example, if you had where this feature one is, that I've put in this example as a repeater station. Now, we can double click that and we can rename that. If this is a unique icon, it's better to rename it to the asset that you've assigned it to. But if it's like our pink pin drops here, now we've got a few different assets here. What I'm going to do is just give them a collective name and just call them on-farm assets. This just gives the marker a bit more clarity when they're reviewing your document, so they've got a bit of an indication as to what each of these icons represent. Now you can see the thumbtack there is shed tanks. We've only got one set of shed tanks, so therefore that is as is. And this untitled polygon, now we're just going to change that to call that boundaries. It's really simple, and then we hit the close out button. Our legend's already updated. It's in alphabetical order there. It's got each icon there and what it represents. Now for the final task is we're going to hit our Save PDF button, select our storage location. Now I would recommend as a top tip, when you're storing these documents, put everything in one spot, whether you create a folder on your desktop or if you put them in a folder in your documents, but make sure your monitoring plan, your tech list, your maps, and any other supporting documentation, you've got it all there in that folder ready to go. So when it comes time to upload into Canvas, you can just go to that one single location. Now we're just going to rename our file, and so we'll call this map overview. Hit the save button, and it's going to prepare our map. Now, depending on the complexity of the map, it may take a little bit more time. The more times you do this, the faster it tends to get. Now, in the first part of this video, we looked at creating an overview farm map for your monitoring plan. Now, as we said, sometimes when we start pinning out multiple assets in a smaller area, that this map can start to get a bit congested. An example of this is down in the bottom part of our farm map here, where we've got our homestead, we've got some other farm assets, plus we've also got some sensor locations. Now, the really easy way of giving a bit more depth and clarity to this map is by simply just zooming in whilst we're still in our print view, until we've got a nice clear coverage of that area. Now, in this instance, what we're going to do is drag and keep this nice and centered or clear on where we need it. And that's a good spot there. And here we can see our homestead, cattle yards. We've got some shed tanks and also a tank sensor location, all nice and clearly defined. And it's exactly the same process as prior. We're just going to come up here to our Save PDF button. We're going to go to our desktop or wherever we're saving our files here. Going to rename or give it a new individual name depending on what we're looking to save it as. In this case, we're going to call it Homestead Close-Up 2. And our system is going to prepare that once we hit the save button. Now, don't forget, a really good time saver when you're getting ready to submit your monitoring plan and tech list is having all of your documents together in one single location. So I'd encourage you to pop a folder on your desktop or in your documents, call it Agtech Monitoring Plan or something similar, and store your monitoring plan document, each of your maps or individual maps that you might have, your tech list that's been completed, and also any supporting documentation for that tech list or for your monitoring plan. That's all there nice and neat together so that when it comes time to upload all of these documents within your Canvas portal, you can go to one location and saves you time from looking around. If you've got any questions about mapping or indeed about your monitoring plan or tech lists for the Farmers of the Future program, please don't hesitate to contact your local development officer either on their mobile, their email or virtual booking calendar systems. We hope you have a great day.